So I'm of the mind to waive the fee for this year. And, we talked about taking a leadership position on the anti-discrimination ordinance we just talked about. I think we should take the leadership position on waiving this fee and hope that Newtown Township follows.
Is that a motion?
I'd like to make that motion to waive the police fee for the 2011 holiday parade.
Okay.
Julie,
Good.
may I?
You certainly may weigh in, yes. Discussion.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I think you phrased the question absolutely correctly. And I think tonight is the first time that it's really been well articulated that there is a real cost to the borough for police presence at the parade. There have been letters to the editor, there have been public comments made at past meetings that would lead an observer to say, well, the police are just sitting around anyway, and all we're asking them to do is to come watch the parade. And that's not the case. The chief actually intends to schedule 7 officers for 4 hours who would otherwise not be on duty that day at a cost of up to $60 an hour. And the cost is up to that number because it's a different figure depending on whether they're full-time officers working on overtime or if the chief is able to staff with part-time officers. And of course, given that we only have 4 full-time officers, some of them will be part-time officers. But there's a hard cost approaching $1,680. The question is this an event that is important and critical enough to the borough that it's appropriate for Borough Council to spend approximately $1,680 of taxpayer money to support it by paying 7 police officers to provide the necessary security at that parade, police officers who would not be on duty at that time otherwise. I think it's a close call. And I think it's a close call, and largely because of the organization that is sponsoring the parade. And I wish there were an organization that were more committed to the borough and to the borough business interests that was in a position to put on this parade. But unfortunately, there isn't. And this year, for the second year, it will be the Newtown Corporation supporting the parade. I lean toward not waiving the fee, but absorbing the additional police costs required to provide security for this parade, because I think for the holiday parade, in particular, customers are brought into the Borough Business District at the biggest time of the retail season. The borough businesses do get that exposure from whatever the number may be of participants in the parade, whether they be paid or not, and spectators, and the members of the community are brought downtown to be reminded that there are borough businesses here at which they can spend their money, spend their holiday money, eateries that can be supported during and after and before the parade. And I think it is important to the community that we have a holiday parade, and in 2011, this seems to be our best option, and so I do lean toward absorbing the cost of $1,680 for this parade.
Okay, so I'm a little confused with the comment you made about the Newtown Corporation not supporting the borough. If we have no other organization that's able to put this parade on, the Newtown Corporation has got 35, 40 volunteers for this parade?
Well, at least.
I mean, just regular people volunteering
Oh, yeah.
to help coordinate the parade. We're bringing 3,000, if it's less, 1,000 people onto State Street for businesses. I think that the Newtown Corporation is supporting local business. Whether we agree with them personally or not is a totally separate issue. Secondly, I think maybe what we should start looking at is State Street businesses. They talked about unity. Well, if it is a true cost and we are in tough economic times, we could have the State Street business community come together and figure out a way to fundraise. They're doing a brew fest or a beer fest or whatever they're calling it this year. Where is that revenue going? Why not put it towards the parade if it is a good business decision for the State Street businesses? There are other opportunities. I'm not saying we shouldn't waive these fees, but let's look at other ways of possibly raising the money if we don't want the Newtown Corporation to be the sole proprietor of the parade.
Do you have, is your committee including some representatives from the State Street business community?
There, actually, I don't know. I don't even know who's going to the committee yet. I know Tina Leck is we did ask her to come back and chair it again. I'm on it. Paul's on it. Yeah, Dave Callahan's on it. Kim Carney from the Brick Hotel is on the committee. And we don't know. We have to solicit some more volunteers. And one of the things that we would love to do, and we're going to approach, is to get State Street merchants involved in the parade. You know, so they can, you know, give them ideas on how they might be able to capitalize on the traffic that's going to be flowing through the town.
Because one of my concerns is that that the parade committee reflect and incorporate, or actually include representatives from the State Street businesses, because I think that's...
If
yeah.
every State Street merchant wanted to be on the committee, we'd love to have them. It's on TV. All right?
That's right.
You know?
And we hope it sounds good.
And
right?
you know, because there's, unlike other activities, there's nothing we don't sell. There's nothing to be sold on. You know, it's just a parade. You know, so all the food. I mean, last year people were in and out of Becky's for hot chocolate and
Right.
muffins and
No,
and you know.
you've made your point, and we recognize them. I think we all.
But to
agree
answer your
that,
question,
yeah.
we do. Yes, we do have State Street merchants that are on the committee currently. Would we like more? Yes.
And it can be noted where the parade's concerned, that actually 5 people donated $1,000 each to sponsor the bands. So you can take that out, out of the 12, 5,000 was donated just specifically to go to those bands to sponsor bands. So that was part. So and that money that other money came out of the Newtown.
Okay, well, you're talking last year's parade. We were trying to move on to this year's parade.
Well, I'm just saying, so that's
yeah.
how we work. Well, that's
Yeah.
how we work our budget, Julie.
Right. Yeah.
If we know where we're at, so we're
Right.
going to have bands, we try to get sponsors
Right.
for them.
Right.
Okay. So
All right.
back to we have a motion on the floor, right?
Yeah, we do have a motion on the floor. Okay. All right. Before we vote on this motion, does council have anything else to say? Okay. All right. Does anyone from the audience wish to weigh in very briefly on this topic?
Marla Gordon, I can say I remember a couple months ago being up here when we were having first, fourth issues relating to police costs, that we had said over and over that there would be generous people, I'm sure even fire police, that would be willing to come to help eliminate the cost so this, you know, we could put on this parade for the community. We were told, oh no, the borough would never do that. So, I mean, as a grateful citizen, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there. If that's what needed to be done, I'm sure we could find the people to do that. I understand everybody's in an economic crunch, but this is a community event, and it would be really sorry to see it. So to be told, oh, the borough would never want to do that, or the chief would never want to do that, I just, you know, that to me is really sad to hear those words, because I'm sure there are more than numerous generous people. I would risk my own life standing in the middle of State Street to make sure a parade came through.
Okay. I think we're going to take a vote now. So do you want to have a seat?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anyone else wish to be heard from council? If not, we have a motion on the floor to waive, or as it was also put, absorb the police costs for the 2011 holiday parade. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
One other item on this, Julie, if I may. We did not include with the motion any kind of conditional element in terms of the township's action, which is correct. We shouldn't link the two. But I would ask that there be a direct communication with our action here this evening to the Board of Supervisors in Newtown Township, and a request that they take action along a similar line, which is to waive the same police reimbursement services for the holiday parade as well.
Do we need a motion for that, Paul? No. Okay, all right. Well, we can certainly do that. Okay. Certainly.